Hi there. Welcome to another Debt Free Guys Live, which is one of the many platforms on which we help the queer community live fabulously, not fabulously broke.
Right.
David and I believe that one of the strong pillars of a queer community is financially strong queer individuals and allies. And
Absolutely.
Being financially strong and being a financially strong or being a strong queer community, we can withstand whatever adversaries and problems come our way. And that's why David and I do what we do, and that's
Absolutely.
why we do these Facebook Lives.
Actually, just do us a favor. If you believe in a strong, financially strong queer community, just give us a thumbs up. We'd love to get some interaction from you guys along those lines, because it's really important for us to grow a financially strong queer community because of what we can do together.
Exactly. This week we're talking about what to do with that huge bonus you're going to get after you write the best annual performance review ever, with based on the 6 tips that we shared on our debtfreeguys.com article on Monday. In that article, we also shared a link to Swipe Copy, which is literally content you can copy and paste and put it into your annual performance review. That is some of the best language that we've used to get our annual, or to get promotions and bonuses and increased salaries. So that's proven language that has done us great, and we wanted to share it with you. And so it couldn't be any easier than just copying, pasting it into your employer's performance review tool, making some minor adjustments so it makes sense for what you do. And when you get that big bonus or that big promotion, it only helps you so much as long as you make it help you. Exactly. And you don't blow your budget or spend beyond your means. So as you can see at the link above, you can get that link above will take you directly to that Swipe Copy that we mentioned earlier. And you'll see there on the screen, we came up with a new Debt Free Guys hashtag. Last week, David made the accident of calling our Facebook Live Debt Free Guys Live, and we kind of like that, so we're going to use that going forward. And so going forward, you'll see us hashtag DFG Live. If you want to search for all of the content, all of the different Facebook Lives that we do in this series to help build a stronger queer community, just go into Facebook and search hashtag DFG Live, and that'll bring up all the videos for you and lead you to all the content that we're using to help build that community.
Exactly. One thing I'll just point out to you, this little secret, this is the 6th week that we've done our Facebook Lives, and all of these string together for a purpose. We are helping you walk yourself through a process. So if you haven't watched the first 4 or 5 Debt Free Guys Live on Facebook, use that DFG Live, hashtag DFG Live, to search for those other items so that you can join the rest of us who have been following this process for the last 6 weeks.
Exactly. And then, as always, please help us get this message out to more queer people, more allies. So please like, comment, and share this Debt Free Guys Live on Facebook so we can get it out to more people. And if you have any questions about today's content, please feel free to ask those questions in the comment section, and we'll be sure to answer them at the end of this Debt Free Guys Live.
Right, so as John mentioned, we're going to be talking tonight about what to do with that huge bonus. What do you do? We've given you the free Swipe Copy so you can create this awesome self-review. What do you do when all that money kicks in and you've got a bonus and you've got a salary increase or potentially a promotion? What do you do with all that?
Exactly. So we said last week that size matters, and I totally still believe that. But as you'll see, bigger isn't better if you don't know what to do with it, right? So you can get this gigantic bonus, but if you don't use it wisely, it may be for no reason at all. Very often we'll get a bonus, or we'll get especially if we get a salary increase, so our regular paycheck goes up, and all of a sudden our lifestyle increases proportionally, or sometimes even beyond what the increased salary or bonus increase was, and then all of a sudden you're at the same position financially, or even sometimes worse. And what was the point of the bonus?
Right. It's interesting. You think about your career, maybe over the last 5, maybe even 10 years. Have you ever truly felt absolutely comfortable with the amount of money that you're making? You've always wanted to make a little bit more. Well, when you look back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are you making significantly more than what you were then? And has it made you happy? Probably not. And the reason for that is because we oftentimes, as John mentioned, adjust our lifestyle, adjust our spending, or as John and I have done before, we spend all of our bonus long before we ever got it so that we were then having to use that bonus money to pay off credit cards.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how you can avoid that trap.
Exactly. Where am I here? Oh, yeah. So go ahead and put up the next slide. So we want to go ahead and talk about what we're trying to do. We're trying to help the queer community live fabulously but not fabulously broke. We want to help you live the quality of life, have the things that you enjoy, live great, but also be financially secure. We don't want to put the community in a precarious position. We don't want we receive lots of emails from people. And the number one concern of our community, and you tell us when you join our private Queer Money Facebook group, is that you have too much debt. The number two concern of the queer community, you tell us, is that we're not prepared for retirement, and we're scared with how we're going to survive throughout our retirement. And then the number three concern of our community is that we're concerned about our credit report and our credit score. So we want to help you address all of that, and that's what this Facebook Live is all about, and that's what the Queer Money private Facebook group is all about.
Right, and we just posted that picture. Now, that's a picture of what John and I kind of perceive in our minds as our fabulous life. What our fabulous life looks like is, for us, it's actually spending some time in a vineyard and enjoying some great wine. And I think for all of you, you probably have an idea of what your fabulous life looks like. And that's why we're here to encourage you to live that fabulous life, but we're going to show you how to do it without being fabulously broke, like we used to be.
Right, exactly. So I want to take you back a couple of weeks ago. I think it was October 16th. We did an article on debtfreeguys.com that talked about how to overcome limiting beliefs, or how to change your mind. And in there, we gave 3 tools, 3 worksheets to help you kind of fantasize or envision what kind of life you wanted to live. One of those worksheets we call the Debt Free Guys Hopes and Dream worksheet. And what that does is it gives you the opportunity to think about what kind of life is it you really want. You might be living one way, but as David and I found out, even though we were living one way, that actually wasn't the way that we wanted to live. Right. We wanted to live a different way. And it wasn't until we had that discussion with ourselves, personally, individually, as well as with each other, that we were able to finally craft the lifestyle that we wanted, and then finally get all of our financial expenditures, get all of our finances in line with that lifestyle. Exactly. So I want you to go back to that article, and if you can access those 3 worksheets. They're called the Hopes and Dreams worksheet, Financial Blockers worksheet, which helps you uncover what it is preventing you from achieving those hopes and dreams. And then we have the What Are You Willing to Do worksheet, which kind of asks you boldly, what are you planning on doing to help to fix your situation? What are you willing to do? And the reason I want you to go back to those worksheets is because your hopes and dreams from that exercise is going to help dictate how you're going to spend this bonus, or how you're going to use that annual your salary increase.
Right.
So
just a reminder to go ahead and click on the link above so that you can get that free swipe copy that will help you write your best annual review ever. We know that right now a lot of you are getting ready to start doing it. It's the end of the year, so go ahead and get that free swipe copy so that you can write that better annual review.
Exactly. So we're going to share with you 8 things to do with your bonus to get the most longevity, the most out of that bonus this year, so that next year you won't say, what happened to my bonus?
Where the blank did all my money go?
It was so big, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think John and I wrote an article about basically blowing your wad, your bonus or your salary increase, and that's what often, as we mentioned before, oftentimes we do that. So
exactly. So our number one tip for our community, since you tell us that your number one concern is that you have too much debt, predominantly credit card debt, some of you have student loan debt, but regardless, you have debt and that's your number one concern. So our number one recommendation is for you, ta-da!
Pay off your debt.
Pay off your debt. And as you'll see, that's David and me after we paid off our debt. We were celebrating. And that's what we want you to do. So you're going to get your bonus this year. Go ahead and put a good chunk of it, if not all of it, towards your debt and pay off that debt. Alleviate that stress that you continue to tell us that you're concerned about. Go ahead and prepare yourself so that you can sleep better at night for the rest of the year.
Exactly. Well, just want to remind you as you're watching tonight, if you have any questions about this process that we're talking about, feel free to ask those questions. We'll answer questions at the end.
Exactly. And then the number 2 recommendation that we have for you is to increase your retirement contributions. You're going to get your bonus or you're going to get your salary increase. Go ahead and put some or all of that, depending upon the size of your bonus, into a traditional or a Roth IRA.
Right.
You can, if you also you're going to increase your salary, go ahead and increase the percentage of your contribution to your 401k 1 or 2 percentage points, so that not all of that increase is coming home to you that you're going to end up spending, but that a good percentage of that will go towards your 401k, your retirement, and help compound.
Exactly. And a lot of employers have, or a lot of the 401k record keeping sites have this option that allows you to automatically annually bump up your contribution by 1% or whatever percentage you want. So look for that and kind of time that with when you get your annual bonuses or your annual salary increase. For me, my company does it typically around February, March timeframe. So I make sure that I go in there and check that box so it increases by 1% during the month of March, so that I don't automatically start spending that money. It actually pulls it back right out of my paycheck and I never see it. So out of sight, out of mind into my 401k, which is awesome because then my 401k continues to grow.
And a benefit with that is that it also reduces your tax consequences.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're going to get your salary increase. Depending upon how much your salary increases, you could be going into a higher tax bracket.
Yeah.
And you can sort of mitigate that by increasing your 401k contributions, and that would reduce your tax consequences.
Awesome.
So our number 3 recommendation for you today to do with your bonus or your salary increase is to contribute to your FSA account, your HSA account, all sort of health savings account. We don't know exactly what direction healthcare is going in this country, and at this point, probably the best thing that our community can do
Right.
is for us to do what we can do, what we have the power to do, and that is to save whatever we can into a health saving or a flex savings account.
Right. Especially, I have to think, especially about our transgendered brothers and sisters. In that community, many of them are concerned with what's going to happen with the Affordable Care Act and the potential for that to be taken away. So if you are earning extra money, when you get that bonus or you get that salary increase, make sure you're setting it aside so that you can maintain your health care no matter what happens. It's very important to do that.
Exactly. One significant medical emergency could completely wipe out all of your savings, and these accounts are designed to help prevent that. So please take advantage of them, especially if you're going to get a salary increase or a gigantic bonus.
Right.
And then our number 4 recommendation is to go ahead and pad your emergency savings account. Because, as you've told us, many of you are struggling with debt. Many of you have also told us that you don't have enough in emergency savings.
Right.
So if you've already paid off your debt or you don't have any emergency savings, even though you have debt, go ahead and put a good percentage of that into an emergency savings account. Right. When David and I finally decided to pay off our $51,000 worth of credit card debt, the first thing that we did was set aside $500 in an emergency savings account. We had to save for that. It took us a while. But we set aside $500 in an emergency savings account in case any accidents happened, and then we were prepared for that. And that kind of alleviates the 1 step forward, 2 step back approach that people suffer from when they are paying off their debt, and then all of a sudden something pops up and they need to use their credit cards or take out a loan to be able to cover those.
Right, and remember, it doesn't take a whole lot to save up that $500 or $1,000. We encourage you to focus on $500 first because so many of your medical insurance or health insurance or car insurance, all those deductibles oftentimes are around $500. So $500 or $1,000, you want to make that decision, but it doesn't take a whole lot. To save $500, all you have to do is save an extra $10 a week, and you're going to have that $500. So figure out small ways that you can set that amount of money aside. If you get paid weekly, $10 a week. If you get paid twice or every other week, again, you're looking at $20. So just want to set aside that little bit of money, and you're going to reach that $500 or $1,000 automatically.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've said this before, but how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. You can't eat the whole elephant at one time. So if you have a big goal of paying off a large amount of debt or to save up a nice emergency savings account, don't think that you have to do it all at once. But if you get a nice bonus, now is your opportunity to take to make some headway with that.
Right. And remember, how do you guarantee you're going to get that better bonus, that salary increase? We want to remind you, go ahead and go up to the link above, click on that, and get that free swipe copy that will make sure that you are writing the best annual review that you can, because you really want to impress your boss. The more you impress your boss, the easier it is for them to give you the raise that you really want.
Exactly. Sorry for clearing my throat there. I thought I was on mute. So
it's just a pretty picture. It's not the microphone going off.
I know. I hope I don't get the giggles. Okay.
All right.
Our next recommendation with your big bonus or your salary increase is to go ahead and invest in those hopes and dreams of yours. You know, if you've already put some money towards your debt, you have your emergency savings account, you've contributed to your retirement account, all of those or some of those, set aside some of that money to celebrate. You got a big bonus, go out for a nice dinner, buy yourself a new pair of fancy jeans. Whatever it is that feeds you, that fuels you, go ahead and spend some time and money on those hopes and dreams. Right. David and I would put that money towards a vacation to Puerto Vallarta or to somewhere in Spain. You might have other goals. So the guy in the picture here, he has looks like a Mustang.
Right.
You're probably not going to be able to buy a Mustang with your bonus, but maybe you can use this money to put it towards a Mustang in the future, or to finally pay off your Mustang if you already have one.
Right. And the sixth point here is invest in the stock market. Now, we encourage you to invest in the stock market, not necessarily buying individual stocks, but start an investing process. We recorded a podcast today with DIY.fund, the two founders of that. And so look forward to that podcast. It's going to be coming out in the next, probably in the next month or two. But the whole idea there is the best way to ensure that your hopes and dreams actually become a reality is that you're investing for them, you're planning for them, and you're setting aside that money. And if you want that money to grow significantly, you got to get it invested. So think about investing in the stock market.
Exactly. And then if you've done all of that and you still have some money left over, or depending upon how big your bonus is, go ahead and just have some fun. Just celebrate. Do something whimsical. I don't know if jumping in cold water is the.
Oh, they're at the beach. It's nice and warm, and they're having a good time. So whatever.
And then, of course, if you have money left over, a great way to help our community and a great way to fuel your soul, to fuel your spirit, is to give back to the community. Right. Now is your opportunity to give a little bit back to the people who need it, or to the causes or initiatives that are important to you. So, and if you do that, and you do have an employer, very often they will match your contributions to whatever charitable organizations you donate to. So if you do donate to charity with your some or all of your bonus, make sure to take advantage of that opportunity if your employer offers that as well.
Exactly.
And then, as David said earlier, please don't forget to click the link above to download your swipe copy for our annual review. Provide you the exact language that you need to copy and paste and put it into your review to get the biggest bonus that you can possibly get.
Yeah, and we just want to thank Matthew Miller for his comment there. Glad that you like this topic. Honestly, I think that this is one that a lot of people are starting to think about, simply because they have to do their annual review, and so they're starting to think, okay, what am I going to do with my bonus? What am I going to pay off, or how am I going to splurge? So glad that you like this topic.
Exactly. So for salary increases specifically, we have some recommendations for you that aren't completely the same and in the same order as our recommendations for a bonus. So our first recommendations for a salary increase is to go ahead and increase your 401k contributions. Again, that will reduce your taxable consequences, and the compounding benefit there will help grow your assets and prepare you more for retirement. And then we also, again, recommend and that's our number one recommendation for that. And so that is our Debt Free Guys Live. Hopefully you found that to be quite helpful. Again, please link to the link above to get that swipe copy. Join us next Wednesday, when we talk about how to improve your credit score.
Yep.
Go ahead and take a look at that swipe copy. Work on your annual bonus to get that great review and that great bonus. And then go ahead and join us in the private Queer Money Facebook group and let us know what you think. If you have any questions or concerns with it, if it works out well for you, we want to celebrate. If it doesn't work out for you, we want to be able to improve the process for you and the rest of our community. And then again, join us next week for our Debt Free Guys Live, when we're going to talk about how to improve your credit score.
Right. And we didn't get any questions during the live, so make sure that if you have any questions, comment on this post or jump over to the Queer Money Facebook group and then ask us questions there. We'll be more than happy to answer them in the group as well. This Facebook Live has been shared in that group, so you can add those comments on there if you'd like. So,
thank you very much, and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Bye.